Well, hello, hello, hello. You have reached Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and I am your host, Ayanna Smith. And I help people make and save money in a tax-free manner. And I really love to drill down in helping the professional woman, ages 35 to 65, to really get into their money, to understand how it works, and then also even offer an opportunity to expand the money that they're making in putting it in the right places to make money, and then also creating an opportunity for them to create more money by having an opportunity to make cash flow. So with that being said, I am excited to have everyone on and listening because we have been in a season of where we are in a thankful mode. Well, at least I'm in a thankful and grateful mode. It's that season, and we're approaching the Lent, well, not the Lenten season, but our Yuletide season, where we're looking at the Christmas holidays all coming up, and sharing more time with family more and more. But one thing I do know is that it's just as much time as we spend with family. We often see that there are sadly lots of people going on the road to demise, and they're passing away, and things are happening, and families are sad and really feeling it during this time and during this season. But one thing I can truly say is that it's not as hard when we don't have to think about how we are going to put our family members away if they pass away suddenly, if they are sick and have been lingering on in sickness and illness. Do we have things in order? Have we properly planned, or do we have to properly pass around the hat? And those are the things that, on a serious note, we really need to look at, and we really need to understand that it is not a frivolous thing, or it's not just something to take lightly, but it's a real thing, and we need to be prepared. So we just oftentimes have to do that mindset shift and understand that life insurance is not a curse word, but it is something that is very necessary, pertinent, and needed if people are qualified, they're able to qualify. And we want to make sure that things are in place and that you don't have to worry. And if you have children, they don't have to worry, and that they're taken care of. They are present and accounted for, even in the midst of sorrow and tears. It's just an extra layer of protection, just a basic layer of protection. Let me say that it's not like it's so much added funds, because here's the thing. I often hear people say sometimes, I'm not going to leave all those people any money. Well, that mindset is really interesting, antiquated, because it's not about leaving somebody a whole bunch of money when oftentimes there's so many more expenses that people aren't even looking or realize that are going to come about. So you're not leaving anybody anything. Most of the time, it's things that they're not expecting to have to pay for. And that money from a life insurance policy will set them straight, or catapult them, or at least layer that time of having to come up with funds that they don't have. So we're going to get into a few things this evening, or 5 reasons why life insurance is important. And again, my name is Ayanna Smith, and this is Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and I help people make and save money in a tax-free manner. But like I said earlier, I help that professional woman, 35 to 65 years old, to really drill down and help them to make their money, save their money, and get their money in the proper places so that it can make money for them, as well as offer them an opportunity to increase their cash flow and enhance what they're already doing and making. Career changes sometimes are good, and of course we can talk about that. So make sure that you connect with me and subscribe to my YouTube channel at the Ayanna Smith, and also make sure that you connect with me when we look on Instagram and all that good stuff. Instagram at Ask Ayanna _Financial Pro. And then on my Facebook business page, ask for Ayanna. So we're going to jump right in. And I'm so glad for those of you who are coming on. Please like, share, and send this out, because this is a timeless conversation, but yet a conversation that we can have every day. So timeless, right? It's timeless. It's never inappropriate to have this conversation. And so we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why life insurance is important. Now, sometimes people say, oh my goodness, have all these thoughts about it, but it is so important because it can do a world of good. So we're going to start with just five reasons, not an exhaustive list, but it's a list to get you started, get you thinking. And as we move through it, we'll go from there. Okay. And make sure that by the end, you make sure that you connect with me and we can have a few talks, have a few people reaching out, taking appointments daily, having people reaching out and saying, hey, I need to get some things in order. And I'm saying, so glad that you do. I am here for you. Yes, your trusted and professional life professional or professional, financial professional, here to help so that we can change our narrative and take our lives from good to even greater. How about that? So here's one of the reasons, and this is, like I said, take a note, get a notepad, and we'll talk about it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments or send me a direct message to ask questions so that we can talk about that on a personal level. Okay. So our first thing is it can help to financially protect your family. And even if you don't have, you say, well, I'm single, I don't have children. Well, that's fine. You have someone, and just look at it that it's an opportunity to make sure that your children are really protected, really good. And if you have a mom or dad or someone, who's left behind, will be left behind, because we all will leave someone behind, unfortunately. And someone, if we made some type of impact in our lives, we'll be grieving. So let's make sure that they are grieving as best as they can. I will say it that way. Let's say they're grieving as best as they can. So it can help protect your family by looking at these things of this nature. It can, it's meant to protect the family's future. But then let's insert this. There are also some different types of insurances, and most definitely we can speak about those that can help you while you are living. You have your living benefits along with the life insurance plan. You can have the long-term care along with the life insurance plan. So those are the things that are very specific to each person. So that requires that we have a personal conversation. So that's why I said it that way. But life insurance can help to financially protect your family. And even if you have savings, sometimes it's unlikely that you will have enough to cover the family's expenses, as I said at the top of the broadcast. And think about even for several years down the road, and even for decades down the road, especially if something happened unexpectedly. If the family member who makes the money passes away, who's going to immediately replace that money? Let me ask you a question. Does the place of employment continue to pay the salary of a person that passes away? Do they continue to pay that salary to the family? You answer that question. So this is a reason why life insurance can financially protect your family. And then there are basically 3 types of insurance in a whole sum total, but not in the fullness of what it can do for you personally. So there are 3 types. You have your term, you have your whole life, and you have your universal life insurances. They all do different things and function different ways, but it is better to have something and to be able to get covered than to have nothing and everybody is uncovered out to just figure it out the best way they can, which is so unfair and so selfish if you're able to get things in place. Sometimes people aren't able to get covered. Then that's another story. Then we help people in other ways to help them to get themselves on a financial track that will hopefully be beneficial and meaningful in the time of need. But if you can qualify, it is no way in the world that the mindset should be that I'm not getting anything, I'm not leaving anybody anything. Well, you are leaving people something. You're leaving them a burden if you don't have it. That's just point blank, period. It's, yeah. Open your mind. It's not to be closed about it. Okay, the second thing that life insurance can do is basically what I was just saying, leading into it can replace lost income. So if that income is lost, that breadwinner is deceased, nobody, as we said, is going to pay the salary continually after that person passes. It's every man for themselves. The child has to figure it out for themselves. Children, people that were depending on that breadwinner, could be a dependent adult child. It could be a child with special needs. Either way, someone is depending on someone, and it is a travesty to be in a place where everybody's in disarray and in a tailspin because coverage was not left, appropriate coverage. So looking at number 3, it can help your loved ones pay off debt. Now, how many people know families that are in credit card debt, owe money on homes, cars, other different types of bills? Even if you want the family to stay in the home where people are currently living, how will the water bill, light bill, gas bill, how will all those things get paid? Cable bill, cell phone bills, how will those things get paid for years to come? Save people get 2, 3, 4 jobs and almost work themselves halfway to death to take care of the lost income. So it can help your loved ones pay off debt, because certain types of debt do not go away. It doesn't go away when you die. It means some loved ones are left with your debt, and they may have to use the money from your estate. And yes, and that's a whole different topic, something that we really need to talk about. I've done some series on that. You can look back in some of the videos and check that out about estate planning and all that. They have to sell off other assets to cover the bills that are left. And this could leave even less money to pay expenses if you have to go through the ordeal of estate sales and all that, getting rid of homes and properties and all that, that will have to be taxed once the deceased is gone. And so then life insurance can help you and your loved ones to pay any debt you leave behind, including the credit card debt, the business debt, the personal or educational loans, and or mortgage debt. And so at the time when your family and loved ones are grieving and they're already dealing with your loss and their heart is broken, life insurance then can ease some of the financial burden. So that's what I was saying earlier. It's not that life insurance takes away the grief, because that has a process and you have to process that well. And I'm a very good proponent of having a team. I always talk about having a team, because we have to have a team with your financial professional, your lawyer, your doctor, your mortician. And also, you need to make sure that all those people are really good at helping you in each entity to get all the pieces of the puzzle together and interconnected very, very closely. And so we can even talk about, when you're talking about paying off those debts, look at how life insurance can help protect a mortgage. See, it does very, very awesome things if we have the mindset to sit down and talk about it and lay out the plan that's going to work for us. And then plans do change over the time, because we need different things as we're growing older. We need different things when we start out young, when our children are young. So that's why I said this is just an overview on 5 reasons why life insurance is important, but it is not the total list on what makes it important, but these are some of the highlights on what makes it important. And then we'll talk about, as we connect on a personal level, to hear what each person needs and what each family needs, so we can get connected totally and make sure everything is succinct and in order for you and your family. All right. So now the next thing that it can cover, of course, that we cannot get out of and get away from, it can cover funeral expenses. And we do know that funeral expenses are increasing in cost every day. On the average, let's say East Coast, here we are I'm on the East Coast of the United States of America. And in my area, it is averaging 8 to 12,000 and up. It can be even higher, depends on what you are looking at, looking to do. Some people say, well, I'll take the cheaper way out and will cremate and all that. That is a cheaper way out. However, it is not cheap. That's the thing. It's no longer an alternative to say, well, hey, we don't have that much money, so we don't have to spend as much. Now the costs have been driven and going up because that's the option that many take now because of not maybe having the full preparation of life insurance and things in order and being fully protected. So they take the route that's going to be on the lesser side of burden, but still make sure that if you're protected, then you do have that latitude to make sure that the family is together. The loved one that has passed away can be buried and rest, and they can rest in peace, as most of us do like to hope and pray that that happens. Okay, so then we look at 5. It can help to pay for education expenses, and with that, I know that education is very important to many families, many parents, many grandparents, and you want to make sure that those children that need to be educated, or you want them to be educated, or I would say even with that, having monies that will allow the children, if they don't even go to college, to start a business, to have money to buy property, invest in the real estate arena, to make sure that they are putting their money where somewhere it's basically planting a seed and it can come up. So basically here we are. Even if you've already started contributing to, we talk about some of the expenses that you can have, but even if you started contributing to say an insurance plan that is going to build money and build money tax-free, where you're planning to put that money aside for your children, or sometimes a 529, you put that aside, the death benefit from a life insurance policy can provide additional money to help cover your children's education if you were to pass away. So that's a win-win, because here we are looking at the way that life insurance is paid out. It is a vehicle and a strategy that pays out tax-free and no interest, no charges. And most of the time, most companies do add a little interest. It just depends on how that insurance contract was set up and what that company provides. But they will offer, if no loans have been taken against the policy, they will issue full face value upon the time that the contract was put in place, meaning when premiums were started. The contract will stay enforced until that person passes away, the insured passes away, and the family, the beneficiaries, whoever you name as the beneficiary, will get the full face value. So it's a win-win. And here's one thing I will insert here. Please, please, please hear this very well. Trust funds need to be set up. That's a different topic, and it's an additional topic, but I will say this. Please make sure that if you have underage children, that they are not named as the beneficiaries to any policy unless you go and take that extra step to get a trust in place so that the money can be transferred appropriately. Because as long as a child is underage, they do not have any rights to take any money unless there is a parent or a guardian who can take control for them and handle those things. And I'm not trying to get into any legal issues because I am not a lawyer, but just this a part of what I do, a part of I would say being versed. And we have a team of people that we can recommend, people that can help you through that, lawyers that can help you through that piece to make sure that your money is not, I would say, just flowing in the wind, and your child cannot get the money if you have not named a beneficiary that's over the age of 18 who is responsible and who can help you to navigate that, or a trust has not been put in place so that the law can help you to navigate that. In the event of your passing, you don't have to worry about your child not getting the money. Yes, have it there for them, but they cannot touch it or get to it. And oftentimes if things are not set up appropriately, I'll leave you with this, then the money goes back to the state that you live in. And that is just not appropriate at all, to have money that you took time to get the policy and look for the time to have it upon your passing, and then the child still can't even get it and take the money to utilize it for their educational future and all that, those things of that nature. So that's a piece that really burdens my heart. And that's something that we can talk about so that we can have things in place. So to go back and recap 5 reasons why life insurance is important. 1, it can help to financially support your family or protect the family. 2, it can replace lost income. 3, it can help your loved ones pay off debt. 4, it can cover funeral expenses. 5, it can help pay for future education expenses. And this is, of course, just 5 reasons, not a total full list, but we've given some reasons that hopefully we have met and started those wheels to turning for you. And please like, share, comment, share this out. And I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's connect there on Instagram and Facebook. And with that, you have heard and experienced Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. And I've been your host, and I'm so thankful that you took time to tune in and to listen. Have a great one.